Hi, it's Matt here from Go Green Autos. So this is my Tesla Model S. It's a 2014. It has done 106,000 miles now. So this is 8 years old, and I've been doing a series of videos on what it's like to run an older Tesla. And these are as old as they get in the UK. And if I just jump in, put my foot on the pedal so it starts, there's the mileage, 106,408 miles. So I don't know whether you just heard that, but this has now developed a noise, and when I put my foot on the brake you could hear a pump noise, and that is the brake vacuum pump, and it's something that affects all cars, not just electric vehicles but ICE vehicles as well. And I have seen these pumps fail on a few EVs before now anyway. So at 106,000 miles you would expect some mechanical components on a car to start wearing out, and that's exactly what's happened on this. Every time I push the brake pedal, that pump is getting noisier and noisier. There it is, just there, if the microphone picked that up. So on this video I'm going to replace that pump. So I've now got the camera set up about a metre away from the car, so I'm going to jump in and see if the microphone is picking up the external noise of this pump, because obviously these cars are nice and quiet, and this pump noise now is getting a little bit annoying, and it's quite noticeable from the outside. So what I'll do is open the bonnet there, and I'm going to have to remove the trunk area, and we'll take a look at the offending unit. So being an older car, this car is rear wheel drive only, so there isn't a front motor here, so you get a much bigger frunk in these. And once you remove this frunk assembly, you've just got great access to the components behind. And it's very easy to remove. You just pull out these bits of trim at the side, you pull these ones out, they all just push down, very loose clips. The rubber bungs here stay, you just prise this panel past that, like that, get all these panels out, pull the carpets off, take these off, pull these side carpets off, and then undo all of the bolts to take out the big plastic trays. You've got one box compartment there, and then this other tray. So I won't do all this on camera, it's all very, very easy. And there's also plenty of other videos on YouTube showing you how to do this, but it really is simple, so I don't need to explain any more than that. But different Model S's have slightly different arrangements at the front. So with Teslas, they're constantly evolving the vehicles, so you tend to find that every year or so something has changed, and these older models, this 2014 model, is different to a 2015, for example. So all the bolts that hold the back tray in are 10mm, and then the bolts that hold the bigger front tray in are 13mm. Except the front two are back to 10mm, but I suspect that's different on later models, because that just adds a delay in production. And I suspect they've improved that and made them all the same size bolts. So next we've got to take the latch cover off here with the emergency release and light, and there are a couple of plastic fir tree trim sort of rivet things in here which we just need to pull out. And then this lifts out, and then disconnect the two wires. And then finally there are two bolts under this front section, so you've got to get this bit of trim off on top of the grille, and this is just held down with plastic trim clips, which sometimes break, but it's gone okay today. So they're just held down with these things. There wasn't bolts, it's just that tray is attached to this piece, so you do have to remove it. So with that front section removed, as you can see, you can easily access all the components: the steering rack, air conditioning compressor, all these water pumps, and the brake system here. And it's all very accessible from the front. You don't need to jack the car up, and lots of room between it all. It's really nice vehicle to work on. So because I've already opened this up once, I know the offending unit is this one here, but I'm going to jump in now, switch the vehicle on, push my foot on the brake, and you will see that the noise is coming from this component here. So this component is a vacuum pump. You've got an electrical connection here, and then you've got an air connection here, and it's just creating pressure on your brake system. So you would sort of expect this to be wearing out at this sort of mileage. 8 years, 106,000 miles. This is a mechanical component which is working all the time, so everything has a life. Obviously EV is much more reliable, there's much less mechanical components on an EV, so much less wear and tear. But at 106,000 miles, I'm not surprised that something like this is starting to get noisy. You know, it hasn't failed, still working perfectly right, there's no errors in the car, the car's quite happy, it's just getting noisy. And obviously I don't want this to fail because it's the braking system, so I'm replacing this before it causes me an issue. So, sourcing a new unit. Well, firstly I went online, I searched for them, had a look on eBay, and they were selling used anything from 160 to 240 pounds, something like that, so averaged around about 180 quid. I also saw one on AliExpress for 230 quid, but that looked like it was used as well, and Tesla were quoting 366 plus VAT. So normally I would be quite happy buying second-hand components, but it's likely buying a second-hand one of these, you're going to get another worn-out pump, to be honest, unless they're stating the mileage of the car that it comes out of, because most of these components on eBay, used car components on eBay, are coming from breakers' yards. So with the absence of the declared mileage, I didn't want to risk buying a second-hand pump, because I'll probably end up with like for like, or be in this same situation again. So I ended up buying a brand new one, just because it's the braking system, don't want to take any chances, and I'm keeping this car for some time. And here it is. It's called a brake vacuum pump and isolators. The part number is 600 635900A, and I ordered this from Tesla. I actually ordered it from the Bristol parts department, because they're very good over there, and it was 366.67 plus VAT, £10 shipping to me, and the total with the VAT was £452, which is a lot of money for such a component. However, I do find Tesla parts are pretty reasonable. If this was PSA Group, or what's now called Stellantis, it would be an awful lot more. I have found that Tesla are pretty good on their part prices, and when you see it, it is one mighty component. It is quite a lump, and actually the price for what it is probably about right. It is still a lot of money, but you know, when you see prices of other car components, you know, in reality that's quite reasonable, I think. So these red bits at the end are soft rubber, obviously sort of bushers and isolators to absorb the vibration, and as I said, you've got an electrical connection there, and then you've got your vacuum connection there on that plastic pipe that's got the cap on, and it all mounts on a mounting frame there, and obviously bolts on from the side, so it looks like I've probably got to take the mounting frame out, remount this pump back on its frame, and then put it back in. So having a feel around here, the bolt at the back feels like that's either got a small Allen key or a Torx head on the inside there. It's quite flat and smooth, and on this side it's smooth. Maybe that's a sticker over it, but yeah, I'm not going to access it without taking the frame out. Looks like two 10mm bolts there. The other side though, you would either take the under tray off and get to it underneath, or I can get my fingers on the heads, 10mm there and one there, so I should be able to get a ring spanner or a ratchet ring spanner in there and do it all from above. So I'm going to do that, take this off, disconnect the electrical connection here and the hose here, that's just these pinch clips, and then see if I can remove this from the mounting frame. Yeah, easy enough to get these two bolts out from the bottom. As long as you've got a ratchet spanner, you can do it all from up underneath. Much easier than getting under the car and taking that under tray off and doing it from the bottom. These top ones, you just need a long reach socket, and then you can lift this out, and as I thought, Torx on that end, and this end it's smooth, but it does look like, yeah, I think there's a sticker over there. So is that a sticker or is that weld? Maybe that's a push pin and the motor just slides up onto a pin there. So I will take this end off and have a look. So that bolt is a T30 Torx, and you just remove that, and we've got that in the end of the pump with a square flange on which fits a slot in the bracket. And just as I thought, the other end is a pin there that rubber bushing on the motor just slides onto and sits there, so it is only fixed from that end. So really simple to remove with just a T30 Torx bit. So overall, a really simple job. Pump's now back in, put the bolts in for the bracket, and then disconnected the hose off the old pump, put it onto the new pump. These spring clips just require a pair of pliers on to pinch them to make them loose. You can then pull it up the pipe, put the pipe on and slide it back down. Really simple, and then electrical connection last. So let's jump in and see how much quieter this new pump is. It would help if I got the keys. So I just want to interrupt this video because while I was editing, I heard the noise of that new pump, and it sounded awful. It sounded just as noisy as the old one, but I think I put the microphone too close to that pump under the bonnet and made it sound worse than it is, because in reality, when you're sat inside, it is now silent. You cannot hear that new pump, and the issue's obviously completely fixed. So I thought I'd just interrupt the video and explain that, and the new pump is in all intensive purposes, absolutely silent from outside the car now. It's just, I'm sure I had that microphone too close to it. So yeah, that's much better. From inside I could just hear a faint hum, but of course the frunk and all the carpet's out, so when that's all back and the bonnet is shut, you're not going to hear that whatsoever. So yeah, huge improvement, and obviously very simple to change. And key thing here is I've changed it before it actually gives up and I lose braking pressure. So just looking at the old pump, these things might be serviceable. I guess it's just a diaphragm in here which sort of ages. Not sure, but anyway, I've noticed this has a different part number, 105074, whereas the new one is 6006359. They look identical. Maybe it's just a different supplier, but Tesla do have a habit of improving components, and there's they're constantly revising components, lots of different revisions, and you'll often find parts have different numbers, as they do with all manufacturers, to be honest, but Tesla seem to innovate much quicker and change things on a much more regular basis than other manufacturers. But this is Czech Republic, so is this, so probably the same supplier. It looks identical. Maybe there's just some internal revisions, but anyway, that's the right part. That's the correct part for 2000, the original Model S's. So right up to 2016 have this part number. So I hope this video helps. If anyone has this similar noise on their Tesla, it's a very simple job you can do yourself once you bought the part. You need minimal tools. You just need a Torx screwdriver, 10mm, a 13mm, sockets, a ratchet spanner, maybe a pair of pliers, and that's it. It's a very simple job. And the same component does fail on other EVs. Obviously it's a mechanical component. It's going to be a wear and tear in these things. All the Citroen C0s, Peugeot Irons and Mitsubishi i-MiEVs have had a recall on their pump, and the RAC went out and changed all of those in the UK, was it last year, I think, mainly because they were rusting. I've had Peugeot partner electric vans have had noisy pumps as well. So yeah, the same procedure is the same on all EVs. Very simple job to do. If you've got access, obviously different vehicles will have different access. It's a breeze in a Model S because of this space you've got here once you get that front out. So that's it. If you like this video, please do click the thumbs up. That really does help other people find this video and find the channel. Do subscribe if you haven't. And if you want to know more about running a older Tesla, plenty of videos on the channel on this car already.